Discussion keeps the world turning.
This is Roundtable.
You're listening to Roundtable. I'm Niu Honglin, joined by Steve and Yushun. Over the past few years, a quiet linguistic drift has been underway. Viral memes and online catchphrases, some humorous, some crude, many ambiguous, have slipped from screens into classrooms and office chats. Educators are sounding alarm about disrupted lessons, parents worry about declining language skills, and linguists point to a deeper concern, the erosion of nuance in everyday communication. Today on Roundtable, we examine the rise of modern-day slangs and ask a fundamental question. What happens when shortcut expressions start replacing real language? And before we wrap up the week, let's take a moment to appreciate the good stuff. We're happy to present Roundtable's Happy Place, where we each share something that made us feel lighter, happier, or just a little more grateful this week. But before that, language is supposed to stretch our minds, giving shape to feelings we can't yet name. But in the age of memes, words contract instead of expand. Complex emotions shrink into punchlines, serious issues get wrapped in irony, and a world already saturated with noise becomes even harder to navigate with clarity. So I was wondering, have you used any of the memes or internet slangs in your daily conversation? Or let me rephrase myself, how often do you do that, Yushun?
Yeah, I absolutely did that. And I think that is some kind of a common behavior that a lot of our like Gen Z would do that would be like perceived as cool, or we use internet. We know that kind of internet slang or memes. And that sometimes I wouldn't say, of course, this whole topic is gonna be about how should we understand these memes, how should we realize that we've been bombarded by these memes in our lives. But the thing is that nowadays, it's been quite convenient, and it's been very, very easy to use when maybe only one word or one phrase can just express the whole feeling of your idea.
I know that, but we can talk about it later.
Yeah. I don't think it's Gen Z. I think it's Gen
Me neither.
It's Gen Alpha. It's the next one. It's the youngest group, right? That's using these the most these days.
I was about to say it's all the generations. Everybody's using it.
You think so?
Yes, even my parents sometimes use the kind of language. Yeah.
Really?
They use the not previous generation, like the kind of slang that's popular 10 years ago, but they use it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, though. Each generation has their own period of being annoying. Your parents had it. Their parents had it. Their parents' had it.
Okay.
And it's going to happen again after Gen Alpha. It's just for me, it's just kind of like something that young people go through because, and we'll get into the reasons a little bit later, but one of the reasons is because it's out there and everybody's talking about it, and
it's like social currency.
You want to fit in, right? You want to be able to communicate, so therefore you use it yourself. I think it's just amplified these days because of the internet, because of social media, and because of the meme culture. That people are more exposed to it and therefore use it more often, perhaps.
But the news story here definitely is making headlines, and it's about younger generation, young students at school.
Even some of the youngest ones. Certain internet slang expressions have become very, very popular among even primary school students in China. And one example is this video is showing that students are keeping saying these memes like 包的. This is a Chinese phrase that used to mean like sure or definitely. It's like when you ask, can you handle this? And the other person just replies, totes.
Okay.
Yeah, you bet.
Hold
yeah,
on.
that kind of thing.
How do you say that?
Totes.
No, not the English. The Chinese. I already speak that language. Bauda?
Bauda.
Bauda.
Yeah.
Bauda.
So, and
I'm going to use that around the office. Where's Lai Ming?
Please don't.
Yeah, so, but the thing is that to encourage students to learn more like expressive and elegant language instead of relying too much on internet slang. One Chinese teacher suggested several traditional idioms that can convey a similar meaning. I think it's really, really hard to directly translate into English, but I can list some like 十拿九稳. Let's say it's about almost certain to succeed, or 胸有成竹, I am fully confident and well prepared. When you're replying that, you bet.
Those are memes? Those
No,
sound
those
like...
are Chinese idioms.
Oh, okay.
Those are
They
the
sound
good,
more
elegant
elegant.
ones.
Oh, I was going to say, those sound like well-formed and thought-out sentences to me.
Yes, and that's my point. When Yushun said, "Ooh, a simple meme or internet slang can express my feelings so perfectly," I know what you mean, and also I get the feeling that there's something that I do not know how to express perfectly, and it is being delivered and expressed by someone, and that is a really good moment. But that moment is so rare in the past and also so precious. I find those moments in, for example, Chinese poems or in beautifully written novels. One specific moment or feeling, a very intricate, delicate feeling is being described by someone, and I feel like, ooh, our soul just clicked at that moment. Yet nowadays, I don't think these memes are doing that. I think they're simplifying our feelings. And I think language has power. When your feeling is simplified, it is possible that the way you think, the way you understand yourself is also simplified. There is a very popular one, and I use that all the time myself, 破防. So it's...
Hold on. 破防.
Okay.
Well, that's
that
a
mean?
good pronunciation. Yeah.
Yes, you're good.
What did I just say?
Yeah, 破防, it's good, and that is related to when you're playing video games. Usually you would have a buff or a shield, like a defense system, and when that system got broken because of certain things your opponent figure is doing, then the hurt you got would be much higher or much extensive, and that is showing that, ooh, my defense just got lowered or my defense just got removed because of certain thing, and now I'm so vulnerable and it's really easy to hurt me. Okay, so that is the origin of this word.
Okay, ask me if I understand. Just
Do you understand what I talked about?
包的.
Oh yeah.
You just I was making
so good.
But I was making the point. My point was that is just a word describing that currently something has touched me in a bad way really, really heavily. But it didn't say what has hurt my emotion. Is it because you said something that was right about me but I don't like? Is it because you're accusing me of doing something that I didn't do? Is it because that your way of speaking is so rude and hurt my feelings? None of these information is included in that one simple phrase, and people use that phrase and it simplifies their feelings.
Yeah, but every generation has its own linguistic code, though, and this transcends culture. This is true in China, it's true in America, it's true in Australia and England. Pick a country. And this is also a way of communication. It might not be the most elegant or articulate form of communication, but it still is a way of letting people know how you feel in a particular moment. The thing is, old people don't like it. And that's why it becomes a thing. But it's not that big a deal. Yes, if it's vulgar, you're crossing a line there. Okay, if it's defamatory, you're crossing a line there. But if you're just figuring out as a young person how to communicate, get along with other people, I don't see a problem with this at
Before
all.
choosing side, before I personally choose a side, Yushun, you choose a side. Do you think it's a big deal or not?
I kind of think it is becoming a big deal right now. And the thing is that when a lot of adults are saying these kind of things, they are expressing the ways in a simplified way, as you said. But that's under the circumstance of they have already learned a lot of stuff, and you have the knowledge of the whole scenario and maybe the history of that word.
Totes.
Feels
Right? But
good, doesn't it?
when these primary school students, they are using these words, they just got a shortcut of these slangs and memes. They didn't get to the behind
The
history,
meaning?
the meaning of that.
They don't know what they're actually saying.
Yes, and they are just actually directly using them in the way that I think it is cool, but they are not actually learning the way that this language or linguistically performed.
And also, you would maybe encounter problems such as you're losing the ability to grammarly form a long sentence. Sometimes when you're using the short ones all the time, it affects the ability. And of course, another thing would be for especially young kids, like Yushun mentioned, some of them do not understand the formation of such words, and they are mistakenly use a rude word as something that is just a catchphrase. There's no negative side or connotation related to it, and that is also a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem, and that's when parents and teachers step in and say, no, you don't use it like that. But again, young people are still figuring out language themselves, so they're going to make mistakes like that. They're going to say inappropriate things or sometimes derogatory things, and it's a mistake and it shouldn't be allowed. Don't misunderstand me. But what I'm saying is it's going to happen. You just need people in the right positions to say, no, that's not correct when they say those types of things.
Is there anything that we can do, though, for maybe for adult? I can agree with Steve that it is not that big a deal. We are still able to use the beautiful lines from Chinese poems. We're still able to use really formal languages, Chinese idioms in official settings. But for young kids, probably it's a bit more serious than for adults. But should we do something about it? Is there anything we can do about it?
That's why a lot of people are praising the teacher that I mentioned before under this video, saying that sometimes our brain has been taken over by these internet slangs and memes, and sometimes we may even forget that there are more elegant and expressive ways to speak. And I can totally relate to it is because I think I mentioned this before in previous shows. When I see, because in primary school, we learn a lot of poems from like ancient China. That's when a lot of these like very significant and renowned poets they made it when they see something very magnificent. And that is
Hold on. You want everybody to be a Shakespeare when they're walking around.
It's not like that. Let me finish
We want
this.
some people to be Shakespeare's.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like when you are seeing these beautiful and magnificent views, you have more ideas and more expressive ways to express it, but not like saying some simple words. Not like me just saying magnificent.
Magnificent is good. You can say take my breath away, but some people say, wow, bro, wow. And that's not okay.
That is okay.
If everybody's saying that, I don't think it's okay.
Why is that not okay?
Because it's just too simple. It's too simple for everybody, right? If everybody's using that kind of language, then you lose the nuance, you lose the subtle implications, and you lose different ways to say it's beautiful. It can be beautiful in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. You want people to be good speakers. You
Yes.
want them to be articulate when they use their words, and that's never a bad thing. But you can be that in the proper context and still be a different kind of, perhaps even dumbed down speaker with your other friends. When I play ice hockey, I would never broadcast half of the words that come out of my mouth.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't skate around the ice saying, "'Twas a good shot, fine fellow." Nobody talks like that when you play. So you see what I mean?
Yes, yes.
There's a time and a place, and there's context for things, and that's why I think it might not be so serious. But there is a flip side to that coin. Let's talk about this. It came out in February of this year. It was from the Social Survey Center of China Youth Daily. This is what they found through their survey. 69% of responders said they were worried about the overuse of vulgar internet memes that could hinder young people's ability to, quote, speak properly. Regarding the negative impacts of such memes on adolescents, 53% almost of respondents said that they may lead to a misuse of vocabulary, meaning not using the words properly. And 31%, almost 32%, thought that some memes are vulgar and meaningless, and it undermines the development development of young people's proper values and worldview.
Those sound really serious.
They are quite
Yes.
serious, but how do you evaluate that? That's a tough thing to do. How can you tell if someone's worldviews and values are undermined by memes? That's very hard to measure.
You're right. And that is why I think schools should step in. Parents should look after their kids and also watch out when serious issue happen. But at the same time, as a parent myself, I also want to agree with Steve a little bit. That is, every generation has their opportunity and their phase to be annoying. And when they do, maybe we can, cut them some slack, give them a moment, because they do still need to communicate and bond with their peers, with their classmates. They want to make friends, and it depends on the kind of language they use.
I remember a TV commercial came out in around 1999 or 2000, something like that. It was a Budweiser beer commercial, and they played it during the Super Bowl, the American football championship game. And this commercial caught on like wildfire. In the commercial, when the guy answered the phone, what's up, right? Like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
But they answered like this. What's up?
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
You know about this one?
Yes.
So then, like,
many people try to say that
because it's
in
on
that way.
Because it's on the telephone. Then everybody started answering the phone that way. My friend calls me. I say hello, and I would hear this on the other end. What's up? And I would say, what's up? And everybody around me was like, oh my God, would you shut up, please? But that's my point. I don't talk like that all the time, and I don't talk like that anymore. I think it's just a generational thing.
Well, for those of you who are listening, let us know, what do you think? Do you think it can be a serious problem, or do you find it okay for your kids to use that kind of language in your home? Let us know. You're listening to Roundtable. Coming up next, Happy Place. Don't go away.
Delivery. Delivery. Delivery.
What is it?
Happiness from Round Table.
It's Roundtable with me, Niu Honglin, Steve Hatherley, and Yushun. Sometimes all it takes to brighten your day is a fresh perspective. In Roundtable's Happy Place, we share what's been bringing us joy in hopes. And it can be inspiring to you to find the little moments of happiness in your own life. So, Yushun, can you share something that can make me happy too?
Oh, hopefully. But my happy place this week is from the sci-fi world. I've been listening to the audiobook of The Three-Body Problem.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
That is kind of a groundbreaking Chinese sci-fi epic written by Liu Cixin. And it's one of the most influential science fiction novels in China. And its impact has gone far, far beyond the country.
Yeah, not just China.
Yeah.
English or Chinese? You're listening
Chinese.
to? Okay.
To better understand the plot, I think. But anyway, the story has inspired several, as we said, screen adaptations. For example, in China, Tencent produced a three-body TV drama and received quite a good comment and review. And internationally, Netflix actually also created a series based on the three-body story.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Did
you like it?
It was a good watch. Yeah, that got really positive ratings, I think.
And what really draws me in is the story itself. It is, and how the book blends bold, imaginative sci-fi ideas with a sense of realism. When you were thinking about, I'm not going to spoil it, but anyway, the sense of realism that feels almost unsettling, even though the story takes us into cosmic civilization and also future technologies. So many details feel strangely real. And I find myself completely absorbed and both fascinated and a little bit scared, to be honest, because it is too real.
Yeah, I understand.
It's plausible somehow, right? Yeah.
And
I don't know where you are right now in the story, but for the first book, it was very real, like you said. It feels like something like this could really happen on a star that we do not know, and it's slowly happening and approaching us. For the second book, it's a bit more philosophical, in my opinion. And the third book is just, he is creating a whole new world, it's a whole new concept of how the world can be, or how the universe can be. And it's also quite, I think all three stories or all three sections in this one book is really good. Hope you enjoy it. And for those who haven't been reading Three Body Problem or listening to it, quite a good time to start. It makes you happy, as it has made Yushun happy. And allow me to share my happy place. Recently, I have the pleasure to revisit Guangzhou after almost a decade. I think the previous time I was there was more than 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and it was a very delightful experience. Though my trip was definitely packed with work, it was only 3 days, I still had a lot of fun. And Guangzhou has been as beautiful as I remembered, but it's also been very, very international. Not like I remembered. When I was walking on the street, I see 1 out of 3 person being a foreign expat. And when I was walking on the street, seeing different vendors selling their products, sometimes a children's toy, sometimes flowers, they can interact with people in English quite well. And that's just, vendors on the side of the street. And also because when I was there, the city was decorated with the 15th National Games related decoration, and it's being very warmly celebrated and hotly celebrated in the entire city. And even when I was visiting some of the souvenir stores, I see local residents and tourists buying the souvenirs, buying a lot of the souvenirs. And it shows how popular and how enthusiastic the city is about the national games.
Did you get one of the
dolphin?
Dolphins, yeah, the mascot, right?
Yes, the mascot. It's Chinese white dolphin, and I got one. And the reason that it made me particularly happy was that I realized even it's a 3-day business trip, even I was quite busy during the entire experience, still I was quite pleased because it's my little getaway. When you are away from the day in, day out life that you have had for a really long time, it is the joy you can enjoy. And I realize that life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away.
Well said. Very poetic. No meme talk there.
So I hope this can inspire those who are, finding it a little dull in their life to take some little getaway, even if it's not a long trip, it's just for a weekend or something. You can find joy in the little things around you. So yeah, hopefully that can make you happy. And also the 15th national game. It's quite impressive.
Did you catch any events when you were there before the event started?
Yes, 1 day before.
Only 1 day before.
Only 1 day.
I've seen, I didn't follow the whole process, but I've seen some of these live broadcasting of a badminton match, and the people can actually see. Do you remember these kind of eagle eyes when you're watching the soccer ball and also tennis ball, when people are trying to identify it is out or not? You can have that 360-degree camera vision to see that.
Okay.
Now you can see these games live in that angle,
wow.
180-degree angle to see that.
So you can move your device.
Yes, you can move
in perspective.
You can move your screen, and you can see the court is moving around your finger.
And you can control which angle of the court you see.
Wow.
I'm not sure that you are controlling or the broadcaster are controlling, but you can see it is moving.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, the tech available now used in sports camera technology to determine whether a play was this or that or in or out or something like that. Makes it a lot more accurate, I guess is the word. But for us who watch, it's just kind of a different viewing experience too.
Yes, and the technology that CMG has also allow people to analyze a moment that has just happened and see the angle of the ball and also see what are some techniques the athletes are using, and it's quite informative as well.
Well done there.
And that brings us to the end of today's roundtable. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topics. Leave us a comment or send us an email to roundtablepodcast@qq.com. Until next time, keep the conversations going and the ideas flowing. I'm Niu Honglin with Steve and Yushun. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.